Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bible Basketball, the 2021 season. Come on in and let's play a little Bible basketball. We're going to wait on everybody to come on in, then we're going to get started on our Bible basketball. Hopefully, everybody's doing all right this evening. Whatever's going on in your life, always keep your head up. God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above whatever we ask or even think. And then today we talked about Jesus is alive. So as long as he's alive, we are alive. Hello to my nurse Ashley. God bless you this evening. Hello, First Lady, my wife, my beautiful wife. God bless you. All right. So welcome to Bible basketball. So hold your head up. No matter what you're going through, hold your head up. Everything gonna be all right. Because as long as Jesus is alive, there is hope. If he hadn't arisen from the dead, then we would have no hope. Uh, Hope would be all in vain. But because he was raised from the dead, because he got up, then we have hope. And the Bible said the same God that raised Jesus is going to raise us too. So we have hope today. No matter what you're going through, there is hope. All right. So we're going to give another minute for people to tune in. Then we're going to get started with our Bible basketball today. And I think today we're going to be looking at the book of Esther. Hello to my cousin Shirley. God bless you. Good evening to you. So we're going to be going into the book of Esther, the first and second chapter of Esther. And as we go through that, then we're going to talk about a few things as we go through. As those questions bring out a few things that need to be brought out today. So if you have your Bibles ready, we're going to bring up our questions for today and get ready to head down the court, everybody. Get ready to head down the court for some b-ball. And so we in the book of Esther, first chapter. And here's our first question. Ready or not, here we go. And it says, what was the name of the king at that time when Esther them was captive in the land? Was it A, David, B, Ahab, C, Herod, or D, Ahasuerus? Ahasuerus. Who was the king at the time? David, Ahab, Herod, Ahasuerus. Anybody know who was the king? Who gonna take off down the court? And there go cousin Shirley say it was Ahasuerus. And Ashley stole it from her and said it was Herod. But First Lady stole it from Ashley, said it was Ahasuerus. Down the court, she goes with Ahasuerus. Is we all in agreement? All right. She changed it and spelled it. That's all right. Them names are hard to spell. I know what you're talking about. So down the court we go with Ahasuerus, who they say was the king at that time. All right, my girl Ashley stole it. Said, no, I like David. All right, Ashley, yeah, we're going to go with David. Ashley headed back the other direction with David. Down the court, she go with David. Is that a score? But First Lady said, not today, Ashley. She stole it back and came back again with King Ahasuerus. Down the court, we go with King Ahasuerus. As the seconds tick on the clock, is that what we're going to go with? Is that what we're going to go with? Is that correct? Boom, that is correct. King Ahasuerus was the king at the time. So that there is a slam dunk. It wasn't a flying slam dunk. We didn't have three people. We got to get three, get that flying slam dunk. I want 3. All right, so that's a slam dunk on that one. Let's get ready to head on down the court with the next question, which says, the king made this for the people. What did the king make for the people? A, war. B, a feast. C, gifts. Or D, gods. What did the king make for the people? War, a feast, gifts, or gods? As we get ready to head down the court, who's going to head down the court first this time? What did the king make for the people? War, a feast, gifts, or gods? All right. Cousin Shirley said he made a feast for them, but Ashley said no, he made gods for them. Down the court we go with gods. Hurry up, Ashley, get there. Slam it, slam it. Are we going with gods today? As the second ticks on the clock, she's cross half court. She's making it. She's making it. Is she gonna make it? That come cousin Shirley came back and stole it and head back the other direction with a feast. He's gonna be a feast. He's gonna make a feast for the people down the court. We go with a feast. Anybody else gonna steal it or what? Are we going with a feast as she head down the court? Fast as she can go with a feast. And that go the first lady got with her and said a feast. Is this another slam dunk? Is anybody gonna get in agreement so we get a frying slam dunk on them? Is this a slam dunk? What does it say? The king made what for the people? A feast. That is correct. And Ashley got in on that at the last minute for a flying slam dunk. Way to get in there, Ashley, at the last minute. That's a flying 360 slam dunk. All right. Way to get in there. All right. Let's head down the court with the next question. He says, what were they drinking at this feast? A, spring water. B, raw wine. C, oil. Or D, blood. What were they drinking at this feast? Spring water, wine, oil, or blood? Who gonna head down the court first on this one here? As we get ready to head down the court, who gonna take off down the court? And there go Ashley. Said they were drinking the raw wine. Way to go, Ashley. Ashley on top of it. Ashley, go. Is somebody gonna steal it from her? Is this a slam dunk? And that come in cousin Shirley said, raw wine. Is we gonna get another flying 360? Is this gonna be unanimous again? Raw wine, they said they was drinking at this feast. Not just any wine, but some raw wine. I hear you, Ashley, cousin Shirley. Anybody else gonna get in on this? Gonna make this a flying 360 or what? Is this just a slam dunk? And that go the first lady say it was raw wine. All right. Is that a flying 360? That is correct. It was raw wine. That's a flying 360. That's the way to go. That's teamwork. All right. Let's get ready to head on down the court with the next question. He said, what were they drinking from? They were at a feast drinking raw wine out of what? A, gold vessels. B, silver vessels. C, marble vessels. Or D, glass vessels. What type of vessels were they drinking from? Gold, silver, marble, or glass? Who heading down the court on this one here? All right. Yes, that was a slam. Cousin Shirley jumped out there and said gold vessels, and she passed it to the first lady with gold vessels. There come Ashley in there with gold vessels. Wow, way to go, Ashley. All right, gold vessels. Is this another flying 360 as we head down the court with these gold vessels? All right, everybody's in agreement. So is this a flying 360? Yes, that is correct. Another flying 360 slam. with those gold vessels. All right, way to slam it, team. Yes, Ashley slammed that one that time. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. He says, what was the name of the queen at that time of this feast? A, Ruth, B, Vashti, C, Esther, or D, Rosa. What was the name of the queen at the time? All right, what you say, Cousin Sherry? So just because it was king, it make it the wine raw. Well, someone, you know, the king is like it is here. They get the best of the wine, the first pick. It's just like the meat. They get the best of the meat. They meat is grown, is kept different, separate from the rest of the cows or whatever it is, or the rest of the turkeys and everything. They get that raw stuff that don't get that slop. So they got the best dirt and everything. All right. So what was the name of the queen? Y'all said Vashti. Cousin Shirley said Vashti. Uh-oh. Ashley said Esther. But then First Lady said Vashti. And hello, Sister Deborah Clark. God bless you. She's back with us. All right. Good to see you back. And she said Vashti. Here we go. And the First Lady said Vashti. So this a slam dunk with Vashti. All right. Is this a slam dunk? That is a flying 360 slam. That is correct. Vashti, she was the queen at the time when they had this first feast here in the first book of Esther. All right. Vashti was the queen. That's a flying 360. Way to get it, y'all. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. He said, what did the Queen Vashti do during this time? What did she do during this time? All right. Hello to everybody. What did she do? A, she prayed. B, she wept. C, she had a feast for the women. D, she committed adultery. What did Queen Vashti do during the feast during this time? She prayed, wept, had a feast for the women, or committed adultery. All right, Cousin Sheriff, she said she went out and had a feast for the women. All right, while the men getting together having their own party, she had a party too. First Lady said she had a feast for the women. All right. All right. And so we heading down the court with a feast for the women. Are we all in agreement? What's going on here? Are we all in agreement? Did she have a feast or something else? Ashley stole it and said, no, she was crying. She was weeping during this time. But Cousin Shirley said, go Vashti. Go Vashti. Okay, then. Yep. All right. Yeah, First Lady stole it back from Ashley and said, no, she was having a feast. Ashley, she was having a feast for the women. Down the court, we go with feast for the women. If somebody going to steal it back, or is we going with a feast for the women? All right. Cousin Shirley said feast. All right. And that, Sister Deborah said feast for the women. Is this another flying 360? That is correct. She had a feast for the women. All right. Way to slam it, Sister Deborah. She had a feast for the women during this time. All right. Ashley got in on that at the last second. Way to go, Ashley. All right. She had a feast for the women. All right. Let's head on down the court with the next question. It said, what did the queen do when the king called for her? When he called for her, what did she do? A, she laughed. B, refused. C, hurried to him. D, hid herself. What did she do when the king called for her? What did Vashti do? She laughed. She refused. She hurried to him. Or she hid herself. All right. That go Cousin Shirley said she hurried to him. No, she refused. Okay, she ain't say that. She refused. She said she refused. All right. And she passed it to the first lady, said she refused. And she passed it to Sister Deborah. All right, said she refused. And then Ashley got in on it too and said we refused. So the men are outnumbered. She didn't hear it to him. She refused. Is that correct? Is this another flying 360? Yes, it is. She refused to go to him. All right. That sister was a tough sister. She refused. He wanted her to come and show off and flaunt herself in front of him and his buddies. Wow. Man, I don't think you're supposed to show off your wife like that. Okay, another flying 360. Let's head on down the court with the next question. He said, what man gave the king counsel in this matter? When she refused, somebody counseled her to do something, counseled the king to do something. Who was it? A, Jonathan, B, Mordecai, C, Memucan, D, Asa? Who counseled the king about his wife, his queen, not coming when he called her? Jonathan, Mordecai, Memucan, Asa? Who counseled the king on what to do? She had a party for the women and she refused to come. Ashley jumped up right away. Go, my girl Ashley, and said, Memucan. Go, Ashley, go. And she passed it to the first lady. First lady and Ashley going down the court with Memucan. Way to go, Ashley. And she passed it to cousin Shirley. Down the court they go with Memucan. Ashley is determined to dunk this one with Memucan. He counseled the king. All right, down the court we go. Back and forth. They heading for another flying 360. Are we all in agreement that the king looked to old Memucan for counsel? All right. He ain't talked to his wife. He went and talked to this guy. Way to go, Ashley. Ashley is determined to slam this one. Is this a flying 360? Yes, it is. Flying 360 on that one now. Yes. Yeah, he went to that guy for counsel about what to do. You don't know what to do on your own between you and your wife? Man, wow. Okay, then. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. He said the queen's deed would cause all women to do what? This guy told the king that what Vashti did would cause all the women to A, suffer, B, despise their husband, C, die, or D, fail. What did he counsel the king and said, this what Vashti did gonna cause all the women to do what? Suffer, despise their husband, die, or fail. All right. Look at Ashley jump up, and first lady jumped up, said despise their husband, and she passed it to Ashley with despise her husband. Down the court they go with despise, and she passed it to cousin Shirley with despise their husband. Man, this guy, I guess you know every man and every woman what they gonna do. That was some terrible counseling. Man, that's some terrible counseling. Now you already know what every woman and every man gonna do. Man, listening to the wrong people. She gonna do all the women gonna despise their husband because of what she did. She threw a party, got away from the men. Man, them women wasn't thinking about nothing like that. But too bad when you're insecure, that's what you think. So is this correct? Is this a flying 360? That is correct. Despise their husband. All right. That's another flying 360. That's what they were thinking. They were too much insecurity going on in their mind. When you're insecure, silly thoughts come to your mind. No kind of rationale behind it. Who said that's going to happen? How you know? But listening to the wrong people cause problems in your life. All right, way to slam it. Let's head on down the court with the next question. It said the king sent out a decree that every man should do what? Now he gonna send out a decree. He gonna make a law that every man should do what? A, honor his wife. B, bear rule in his home. C, repent. D, fast and pray. He sent out a decree that every man should do what? Honor his wife, bear rule in his home, repent, or fast and pray. All right. Ashley said he sent out a decree that every man should fast and pray. Yeah, that's what he should have sent out. Yeah, I hear you, Ashley. That's what he should have sent out. All the men need to fast and pray. That's what he should send out. I hear you. Is that correct? Down the court, we going with fast and pray. We're headed down the court. Ashley is speeding. Y'all better catch her. She is determined with fast and pray. Every man should fast and pray. But then First Lady Stolen said, bear rule in his home. He sent out a decree for the men to bear rule in his home. How you know the men weren't already ruling in their home? All right, bear rule. Down the court she go with bear rule. Anybody else? As we caught in between bear rule and fast and pray. Down the court she go with bear rule. Is it gonna steal it? Or is we gonna go with bear rule? Is this a slam? Is this a slam, or is y'all gonna make it a flying 360 as the seconds tick? All right, there come cousin Shirley said bear rule. Every man should bear rule in his home. All right, too busy worried about what the women gonna do. So now you got to pass a law, a decree for the men to bear rule. So that means you afraid of the women. Wow, man, that's messed up. Okay, Sister Deborah said she was frozen. Okay, then Ashley came back and stole it. Then she said, okay, bear rule. Ashley went with everybody else and said, bear rule. Is this a flying 360? Let's hit it. Is this a flying 360? That is correct. He made a decree that the man should bear rule in their home. Well, what's wrong with the man that you got to make a rule, a law for them to rule their home? Anyway, God had already said that a woman's desire shall be to her husband, and he shall rule over her. And you remember I told y'all to rule over means oversee her. He didn't tell Adam to rule her. Now you're telling somebody to make somebody a slave when you said rule them. No, she was given dominion just like Adam. So rule over her. You the overseer. You get the final say so. In case things go wrong, it comes on you. But you don't rule. We rule animals and direct their every move, but you don't rule people. No, people have choices. So you rule over them in case they make a bad choice. But here come this king gonna try to get the man to rule the women. That was a bad thing. That was a bad thing. All because his wife wouldn't do the foolishness that he wanted. All right, let's get ready to head on down the court with the next question. All right, that's the end of that chapter. All right, we're going to chapter 2. So yeah, let's head over to chapter 2 for the next question. Are y'all ready? Let's head on over. We're going to go to chapter 2. Here we go. Our first question, he said, the beautiful maiden which pleased the king would be what? So he decided to get rid of her as queen, and whatever maiden pleased him, she would be what? Put to death. A, put to death. B, sacrificed to Baal. C, made queen in Vashti's stead. Or D, brought before the Sanhedrin. What would be done to the beautiful maiden which pleased the king? All right, Would she be put to death, sacrificed to Baal, made queen, or brought before Sanhedrin? And First Lady, here y'all go. Y'all said she be made queen. All right. And Cousin Shirley said made queen. And my girl Ashley said made queen. All right. Down the court we go with made queen. All right. She be made queen. He thinking he getting him a queen, somebody that, unlike Vashti, just gonna do what he wanted them to do. But God had a plan. God had a plan. When you try to keep people down, God got a plan. He called himself going to try to keep the women down, and God had a plan. All right, is this a flying 360 with Queen? Make them Queen. Ashley doubled back and said Queen. Is this a flying 360? That is correct. He's going to make them Queen. All right. All right. That's a flying 360. Way to slam it. Let's head on down the court with the next question. Who brought up Esther as his own daughter? Who raised Esther as his own daughter? A. Mordecai, B. Vashti, C. Haman, or D. Reuben? Who brought up Esther as his own daughter? Vashti, Haman, Mordecai, Reuben. Who y'all gonna go with? Who brought up Esther as his own daughter? As we get ready to head down the court, who gonna go with this one here? And there go Ashley. She said Reuben, but First Lady stole it from Ashley and said it was A. Mordecai. They said A. Mordecai. I get what you're saying, Mordecai, which is Mordecai. She tried it again, and that autocorrect got you again. I know what you mean. That autocorrect gonna get you. All right, there you go, Ashley. Ashley said A. Mordecai. Yeah, just make it simple. Them names is hard. That autocorrect don't know nothing about them kind of names. There you go, Mordecai. All right, down the court we go with Mordecai. Is he the one that raised Esther as his own daughter? All right, you say it was Mordecai. What? Anybody else? Was it Vashti, Haman, or Reuben? All right, who raised her as his own daughter? All right. And there go Cousin Shirley said Mordecai. So is this a flying 360? We all in agreement. Boom, that is correct. That is a flying 360. It is Mordecai. Way to slam it, y'all. Way to slam it. Mordecai. Ashley got in on it too. All right. Way to get in on that. A flying 360. Let's head on down the court with the next question. Said, what relation was Mordecai to Esther? What were their relation? What kin was he to her? A, his uncle's daughter. B, she was his cousin's daughter. C, she was his brother's daughter. D, she was his nephew's daughter. What kin was Esther to Mordecai? All right. And Cousin Shirley said cousin. All right. Which one of these is the cousin? Your uncle's daughter, your cousin's daughter? That's a cousin. Your brother's daughter? His nephew's daughter. Which one is a cousin? Asher said it was his brother's daughter. Ashley said the brother's daughter, but then Cousin Shirley came and said it was the uncle's daughter. All right. And she passed it to the First Lady, say it was the uncle's daughter. All right. That's what makes you a cousin. All right. It was the uncle's girl. That's what makes her a cousin. It was the uncle's girl. All right. Ashley got in on it. All right. And Cousin Shirley doubled back, and here come Ashley. Said it was the nephew's daughter. Ashley stole it and said it was the nephew's daughter. Down the court, she going with the nephew. It was his nephew's daughter. Down the court she going. Anybody gonna steal it from Ashley as the seconds tick? Are we gonna get slammed with nephew's daughter? But here come the first lady, came back and stole it from Ashley and said it was the uncle's daughter. All right. Is this a flying 360? The uncle's daughter? That is correct. Flying, that was a slam dunk. We only got two people in on that slam. So that was a slam with two people. It was the uncle's daughter. All right. First lady and cousin Shirley got that slam. All right. It was the uncle's daughter. And too late, Ashley. It was the uncle's daughter. All right. Let's head on down the court with the next question. They were cousins. All right. Why did he raise Esther as his own daughter? So why did Mordecai, her cousin, raise her as his daughter? A, her parents were dead. B, he kidnapped her. C, she was lost. Or D, her parents were in hiding. Why did Mordecai raise her as his own daughter? Her parents were dead. He kidnapped her. She was lost, or her parents were in hiding. First lady said her parents were dead, and she passed it to cousin Shirley and said her parents were dead. Down the court we go with her parents were dead. All right, down the court, back and forth they go with their parents were dead. All right. And Ashley got in on it. We're gonna get a flying 360. Ashley said her parents were dead. Is this a flying 360? Boom, that is correct. Her parents were dead. Flying 360. Way to go, team. All right. Next question said he instructed Esther not to do what? A, reveal her nationality. B, be impolite. C, bow before the king. Or D, speak. What did he instruct Esther not to do? A, reveal her nationality. Be impolite. Bow before the king. Or speak. What did he instruct her? All right. Ashley said, bow before the king. He instructed her to bow, but then cousin Shirley stole it from her and said, no, reveal her nationality. Don't reveal your nationality. He didn't say don't bow. She said don't reveal. Is that correct? As we head down the court, cousin Shirley stole it from Ashley and she passed to the first lady. Said, don't reveal your nationality. All right. Ashley tried something different. Ashley stole it and said, don't be impolite. Down the court, Ashley stole it from first lady, said A, but Ashley said B. Ashley stole it from and said B, don't be impolite, which is good. But here come the first lady and stole it back and said, A, Ashley, no, don't reveal your nationality. Down the court they go, back and forth. They going at it. Don't reveal your nationality. Down the court they go. Don't reveal your nationality. Is some Ashley gonna steal it back, or is she going with A, or what? What's going on here? Cousin Shirley said, don't reveal your nationality. First lady said only. Ashley changed and went with the first lady. All right. So we got another flying 360. That is correct. Another flying 360. He told her, don't reveal your nationality. All right. So don't go around telling everybody who you are. You know, we've got to be careful in this world telling people who you are. You know, some people don't like you because of who you are, and they prejudge you because of your nationality. But they around here liking her, not knowing who she is. So they were liking her. So why is we got to allow nationalities and colors and creed and race to get in the way. That's just the evil of man. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. He said, how did the king feel about Esther when he saw her? A, he loved her. B, he hated her. C, he feared her. Or D, he was jealous of her. How did the king feel about Esther when he saw her? Did he love her, hate her, fear her, or was jealous of her? How did the king feel as we get ready to head on down the court? Who's going to head down the court on this one here? How did the king feel about Esther? All right. Cousin Shirley said he loved her, but Ashley stole it from her and said he was jealous of her. Down the court, Ashley goes with jealousy. She took it away from the cousin. Shirley said A, he loved her, but Ashley stole it with D. No, he was jealous of her. Down the court, she go with jealousy. Yes, there's so much jealousy in the world, but First Lady took it back to A and said, no, A, he loved her. Back down the court, we go the other way with loved her. He loved her. Cousin Shirley and the First Lady said love. A loved her. Down the court we go with A. He loved her. Is Ashley gonna go with them, or is she gonna steal it from them? As the seconds tick on the clock, is this a slam dunk? What's going on here? He loved her. Ashley changed and went with the First Lady, and cousin Shirley said he loved her, and that is correct. Way to come in on the last second, Ashley, for a flying 360 slam dunk. He loved her, and this was all part of God's plan. We're gonna see for him to love her. All right, to fall in love with her at sight. That was all part of God's plan. All right, let's get ready to head on down the court with the next question. Down the court, we go with the next question. And our next question says, yep, both of the women, yeah, they were pretty, but this was something that God had planned for him, her. He had to fall in love with her. He wasn't in love enough with Vashti, but he did Vashti wrong. So God was gonna do something with him for that. So he fell in love with Esther, and watch God use that. What's our next question? Says the king set this upon Esther. When he saw her, he loved her, and what did he set upon her? A, shame. B, pity. C, the royal crown. Or D, spies. When he loved her, saw her, he loved her, and what did he set upon her? Shame, pity, the royal crown, or spies. What did he do? All right, First Lady jumped up and said he set a crown upon her. Down the court, she goes with a crown. He set a crown upon her. All right, Ashley stole it and said he set some spies out to check her out. But First Lady said, no, Ashley, it's C, royal crown. She said C, a royal crown. She passed it to cousin Shirley with C for a royal crown. No, Ashley, they said it was a royal crown. C, royal crown. Down the court, we go with C for royal crown. Is we gonna get a slam as the seconds tick on the clock? He saw her, he loved her, she was beautiful to him. He fell in love with her beauty. He right away. Ashley stole it and said, no, no. He said pity. No, cousin Shirley stole it right back from Ashley and said, see, Ashley, no, it was C, royal crown. And she passed it to the First Lady with C for a royal crown. Is this, we got to go with C with a royal crown. Is this a slam dunk? No 360 this time. Let's hit it. Let's see what it is. All right. Boom. The answer is C, raw crown. He set the raw crown up on her. All right, that's a slam dunk. He saw her, just was overwhelmed by her beauty and loved her right away and set that crown on her without hesitation. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. Two of the chamberlain sought to lay hands on who? Two of the chamberlains sought to lay hands on who? They sought to lay hands on A, the king, B, Esther, C, Vashti, D, Mordecai. Two of the chamberlain sought to lay hands on who? The king, Esther, Vashti, or Mordecai. All right. Two of the chamberlain. Anybody? Well, all right. Ashley said they gonna try to get Vashti. All right. But then cousin Shirley stole and said, no, A, the kings. Cousin Shirley stole it, Ashley. She said, nope, A, the king. It was the king that they was trying to lay hands on. All right, down the court we go with king. Is anybody gonna steal it from her with king? All right, down the court we go with king. They tried to lay hands on the king. Ashley changed and went with king. All right. Is we going to get a flying 360? Ashley got with king. Anybody else is going to get with him? Or is this was just going to be a slam? Is somebody going to take it from him? Two of the chamberlains sought to lay hands on A, the king, and there come the first lady and said, the king, is this a slam dunk? Yes, that's a flying 360. All right, another flying 360. They tried to lay hands on the king. All right, they wanted to kill the king. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. He said, who learned of their plan to kill the king? Who learned of the plan? A, Haman, B, Mordecai, C, Vashti, or D, the spies? Who learned of the plan to kill the king? Haman, Mordecai, Vashti, or the spies? A, B, C, D. All right, who learned the plan? Was it Haman, Mordecai, Vashti, or the spy? All right, there go Ashley and said Mordecai. Way to go, Ashley said Mordecai, and she passed it to cousin Shirley, said Mordecai. All right, is this gonna be a flying 360 on this one here? And there go the first lady said Mordecai. Everybody said B. Is that correct? Is that correct? All right, that is a correct flying 360 on that one. Mordecai learned of that plan. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. He said, what happened to them? What happened to the man that planned to kill the king? A, they were put in prison. B, they were hanged on a tree. C, they were stoned with stones. Or D, they were burned at the stake. What happened to them? They were put in prison, they were hanged on a tree, they were stoned with stones, or they were burned at the stake. All right, cousin Shirley jumped off and took off down the court and said they were hanged on a tree. Down the court she goes with B, hang on a tree. Cousin Shirley going with B, hang on a tree. Anybody gonna steal it? Or we gonna go with B? There come Ashley come in with B, hang on a tree. Down the court we going with B, hang on a tree. Anybody else is going with B, hang on a tree. Now come the first lady in there. Is this another flying 360 with B, hang on a tree for trying to kill the king? Is that correct? Boom. That is correct. That is correct. Another flying 360. All right. All right. That's another flying 360. They were hung on a tree, and that's our last question of those two chapters. And so that's gonna end it for tonight. flying 360. And so, like I was saying earlier, God used the beauty of Esther to turn the king from his own law, because he called himself going to try to bear rule over the women, hold the women down. And then all of a sudden, here come God, brings a woman to change everything. He loved her so much and was so overwhelmed by her beauty that he said, I give you whatever you want to half of the kingdom. So he lost that while you listening to this man trying to hold the women down. God brought in a woman to wipe you off your feet. So you be careful how you try to hold people down. Because God will turn that thing on you and use those very people to wipe you off your feet. See, he was wiped off of his feet by Esther and said, I give you whatever you want, sister. Whatever you want. While you trying to hold the women down, God will turn around and use a woman to wipe you right off your feet. Whatever you want. All right. Thank y'all for another night of Bible basketball. Y'all have a good night. And as always, we say, keep God first. Be sure to keep God first and be safe. Have a blessed weekend. And y'all pray for us as me and the First Lady and Daniel travel to the Virginia area to visit Hampton University. So we're going to go down there and check out Hampton University. So we pray for traveling mercies as we travel. Y'all continue to keep God first and be blessed. You pray for me and I'll pray for you. All right. So thank you to my cousin Shirley for tuning in tonight. Thank you to my beautiful wife and my nurse Ashley. Thank you for stopping by tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you to Sister Deborah. She had internet trouble, and we thank Sister Deborah for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Sister Deborah Clark. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And everybody else, thank you. If I miss anybody, charge it to my head, my eyes, and not my heart. Y'all be sure to keep God first. Thank you, sincerely. Thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all be blessed and keep God first.